All right, what do you got?
Something unusual. Copy of the Declaration of Independence.
Hey, Corey.
What's up, bud?
This guy has the Declaration of Independence.
No, he doesn't.
Sure I do. Just not the one in the case in National Archives.
Okay, yeah.
First true facsimile copy of it.
This is one of the William Stone copies.
This is.
Believe it or not, about once or twice a year, I have somebody come in claiming to have the original.
I found the Declaration in a box of old documents that I had won at auction. I'm asking $25,000, and if we come to a deal today, I'm sure there's things to do, fix up the house, take a vacation, something like that.
This is interesting.
It was printed by Stone in 1833, and his printer's mark is right there, just below George Walton's signature. He was given the actual Declaration by John Quincy Adams.
These were kind of big back in the day. I mean, because basically, you know, if you lived in some rural town in North Carolina, you were probably never going to make it to Washington, D.C. to actually see the originals. So
true.
You could go into the post office and you could actually see a really, really good copy of it.
And this is the foundation of our country right here.
You know, people often forget that every single person that signed this thing was committing treason. Signing this piece of paper in 1776 was punishable by death. I mean, it had to be pretty scary. I mean,
What's amazing is if you look at the signatures, John Hancock wasn't afraid of being hung. A few of these other guys, you can tell from their signature, they were a bit scared.
It's pretty crazy. It happened on July 4th.
oh, you never cease to amaze me, buddy. I know the original Declaration is so faded by now, it's almost impossible to read. So it's a really good thing that Stone made copies of it. Bad thing is that he really didn't make that many of them, probably less than 1,500. So it is really rare to see one. Obviously, you brought it in here to sell it. How much are you looking to get for it?
Looking for $25,000.
$25,000.
Yeah, it does look like it's in pretty rough shape. It's got some holes right there and maybe some water damage.
And just the way it's been folded for...
It's been folded for 183 years, which is actually what probably saved it. If it hadn't been, it's very likely it would have just fallen apart.
I'm just curious to know, how do we know this is from the early 1800s? Do you mind if I text a friend of mine to come down and take a look at it?
Absolutely.
He could give me a little bit more insight on what the copy of the original is worth. I'll be right back, man.
Sounds good. Corey's gonna call in an expert, and I'm very happy with that and totally confident that it's an absolute true William Stone original facsimile of the Declaration.
Nice.
I'm curious to know how old it is.
Okay, the original printing of this in the 1820s was done for John Quincy Adams. And then in the 1830s, early 1840s, Stone was asked to do prints for a series of books called the Annals of America.
Okay.
Do you mind if I pick it up just a little
Absolutely.
bit? Yeah, because the thing that you have to watch for on these is the original one was done on vellum, the second print on rice paper. And rice paper just means very lightweight paper.
Yeah.
It's also a rag paper, or what we would say an acid-free paper today. So if the paper is not correct, it's not that print. But you've got the correct engraving here of W.J. Stone, and the paper that it's on is correct. So this is, in fact, the 1830s, 1840s Stone printing.
So basically, it's an authentic replica.
Yes, it's a great find.
Oh, Mark, I appreciate you coming down.
Not a problem. Have fun. The Declaration of Independence is the document that created America. And this is really about as close as you're going to get to the original one.
You got a really cool piece here, man. So, I know you started off at 25. I don't know if you know, but having paper restored, it cost a few $1,000s. Comfortably, for me to jump in this thing, I'd like to offer you $4 grand.
Well, no, I respect that. I mean, it's way less than I'd be willing to take. You know, I'd be willing to come down to about 22.
Yeah, that's, I mean, we're so far off there. I've seen copies in better shape sell for a lot less. I'd go to 6, and that'd be the most I could pay you for it.
I'd come down to maybe 18.
I'm gonna have to hold at 6, but if you change your mind, I'm always here.
Sure, I appreciate that.
All right, well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, Corey.
Take
Thank
care.
you. The highest Corey's offering is $6,000. I know I can get substantially more at another auction or in a private sale, so I'm gonna have to walk.
Mr. Brown and I got along famously.
Why he tittled through a pass, I caught the ball myself.
It's got a name engraved on it.
How did you end up with this?
Sounds so fun.